Picks.
And now, the feature so many of our listeners wait for each day. Producer's Picks.
This is the part of the show where Jared Diglio, my wonderful producer, tells us what's on his mind. Take it away, Jared.
All right, so it's basically bureaucratic, what have you, but it is worth noting, and we haven't really talked about this. Today, as Marty goes to Washington to become the new labor secretary and push Washington chefs around with thugs down there, Mayor Kim Janney has earlier today was sworn in as the 55th mayor of Boston. She is the acting mayor. There's going to be the special election coming up, but she is the first black woman and first woman in the history of the city to be mayor. So that is noteworthy.
Very nice. History is made.
Moving on, good news. We played this cut earlier, but I think it's worth going back to. This was Joe Biden. He was at some medical something yesterday.
I was hoping you'd go back to this.
And he had this to say, because I remember Joe promised he was going to cure cancer. I think when he was vice president or something like that.
One of his many campaign promises, including not raising taxes and, there was a lot of things.
Yes.
Fixing all of our problems.
He said this yesterday.
And by the way, dogs may help cure cancer. Not a joke. Dogs are able to, they're using dogs now because their olfactory glands are 400 times what a human is, to smell cancer in people's legs and people's bodies. Not a joke. It's a fascinating thing.
First of all, why does he think everyone's assuming everything he says is a joke? He's so defensive and always has to say, not a joke, not a joke. Yeah, dude, we know you're the president. We take what you say pretty seriously most of the time. Jared, a few questions.
Yes.
One, I know you had to kind of break down what he said with that mask on. What did you end up with?
So it sounded a little clear. I had to listen to it 3 or 4 times. He was talking about the dogs and their olfactory senses.
Got it.
Which basically is, the sense of smell. It's an olfactory, and taste, I think, falls under olfactory as well. But their olfactory senses can smell cancer. In trained dogs, as one of our texters pointed out, 781 trained dogs can smell cancer. Untrained dogs just drool on you.
And let's, to use an Obama phrase, let me be perfectly clear. I'm all for dogs sniffing out cancer, drugs, bombs, whatever, blood. I listen to a lot of true crime, and if there's one thing they teach you listening to true crime, it's that these dogs have powerful sniffers. But I also have been paying a lot of attention to Joe Biden, and I'm starting to notice that Joe is big on getting his family good gigs. Getting, Dr. Jill's doing pretty good. You got Hunter Biden with some shady business dealings. He's got a son-in-law that, has some good dealings as well. All I'm saying, Jared, without getting, too slanderous here, is that his dog Major just had a fairly bad week coming off of the bite, which he says did not break the skin. But is there a chance that he's trying to position Major into a gig here, like into a new job? Major can maybe put on the lab coat. He can be part of the cancer curing team.
Well, part 2 of the story is that Major and Champ are back at the White House.
This all seems too coincidental.
Definitely, Health and Human Services could definitely use somebody like Major, I think.
It really is emblematic of Joe Biden, where it's like, rather than focus on his dog not biting people, he's convinced that dogs are going to not sniff out cancer, are going to cure cancer. They are going to cure it. I say this all the time, but baby steps. Let's get the dog not biting at the security guards.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
I hope we end up using that sound during this administration at least once a week.
You call him Dr. Major, lady.
Dr. Major, doctor. Does he have a PhD or is he a medical doctor? We don't know.
PhD is a puppy HD. God. More news of the nose. This is from CBS News. Researchers in Mexico have made a nose-only COVID mask, which they say reduces the risk of infection of coronavirus during eating and talking.
So it doesn't cover your mouth.
It does not. It only covers your nose. It kind of looks like the Lone Ranger's mask if it slipped down over his nose a little.
Well, this contradicts what all the experts, and I'm using air quotes here, they always talk about droplets. And I know that droplets can come out of your nose if you have a runny nose, but most of the time, droplets come out of your mouth. You're spitting on people or, not spitting on people, but you're talking and your spit kind of, I've had people say that I sound like I'm spitting into the microphone every day. So I thought that's what we were trying to cover is the mouths. I didn't think the nose was the main issue.
Yeah, every noun and verb in that sentence is confusing to me. But, it's not like there are a bunch of COVID positive people coming in, being tested and let go and then sent to North Carolina or anything. So, why wouldn't we take the medical advice of the country that says you just need the nose?
How does it stay on?
It's strapped. It straps around your ears. It's like their normal face mask, but you strap it around. It just rides a little higher. And it's a smaller piece of...
It looks even more ridiculous than what we already have on.
It's like if you've seen those Halloween pig noses, like for costumes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's something like that. That's kind of what it looks like.
You know who would love that mask? Is Ben Affleck. Because he always has the issue of having to push his mask up so that he can smoke a cigarette underneath it. But with this one, he could have the mask on his nose and then smoke his cigarette. And, you could be like Kramer. You could have your drink and your cigarette at the same time and just have your nose covered. I'm actually on board with this.
Ben Affleck.
You're white, then you Ben Affleck.
Just saying, he would like this.
So I don't know if you follow this, but the NHL has fired referee Tim Peel, who was caught on a hot mic admitting to making up a call.
All right, so I do not follow this. I saw this on Twitter, and I didn't get to look at the whole story. I assumed he said something really bad, which has happened before.
I actually have the audio. This was during a Detroit Red Wings Nashville Predators game. They were going to break, and the referees are mic'd up, and the mic was still fed in, and this is what it sounded like.
It wasn't much, but I wanted to get a penalty against Nashville early in the...
Oops.
How much they paying you, ref? That's bad.
So obviously anybody who follows sports, has always thought, okay, well, if somebody gets 3 penalties in a row, obviously the next penalty is going to be on the other team. Or in the Super Bowl in the fourth quarter, okay, well, if Tom Brady's throwing the ball, there's going to be a pass interference penalty. Or if Patrick Mahomes is running, he doesn't get set. All the conspiracies are out there.
Or what I see a lot is that, there's a really bad call in the first quarter period, whatever sport you're watching. And then later on in the game, they'll do a penalty against the other team. And people say, oh, that's a makeup call for the first one, which is not how it's supposed to go. You're not supposed to base it off of making amends. But people do have those theories. But to have somebody say it on their mic, the hot mics, and Jared, I'll be curious what you think about this, because sometimes in sports, like in football or in hockey, they'll have all these players mic'd up. And I just think it's a recipe for disaster. I would not want to be mic'd.
No, absolutely not. We've seen countless examples of this. I remember when I was in Los Angeles, Kobe Bryant got in trouble. He wasn't mic'd up, but the cameras panned on him, and he used a slur against a referee that just kind of came out, and it became a whole thing. But the stuff that people say in the heat of these moments and just the conversations you have, it's dangerous. Look, we're around microphones all the time, so we're very careful about what we say and how we say it, even when the microphones are off. That's broadcasting 101. Every mic is a live mic.
I can't believe... Wow, he must be having the worst day. And is he fired?
He is absolutely fired.
Yeah.
It wasn't much, but I wanted to get a penalty against Nashville early in the...
Ooh.
Oh, gosh.
Actually, that's the second worst moment of Tim Peel's career, as somebody pointed out on Twitter. He actually, during a game in St. Louis, there was a player who took a shot, and the puck actually hit him in the privates, bounced off, and went in the net and counted as a goal against the other team. So Tim Peel's having a rough rough run here.
I always, and again, Jared, I know I'm going to sound like a complete amateur here, but that's another thing. I have to watch the Bruins all the time now because Will loves the Bruins and he watches every game. And I am sometimes you don't focus on the refs because you almost block them out. You forget they're there, which is, what they're trying to do. But if you do focus on them, it's got to be kind of scary. These guys are all padded up. They're coming at you real fast and real strong. And these guys just have to kind of work around them. So I'm not surprised that at one point a puck hit somebody in the privates.
No, and they get run over by players all the time in the games. Tim Peel, no longer employed as an NHL referee.
Oh, I know. You just can't. You can't. There's really, once people know that that's what's up, there's no credibility.
Exactly. Media, take note. One more note before we go to the car crossover. On this day in 1930, Steve McQueen was born. In my book, pound for pound, the greatest American ever, and I will die on that hill. I mean, obviously, you remember from Bullet, The Great Escape, The Magnificent Seven, Papillon, The Blob. My favorite movie of all time, The Cincinnati Kid. Fantastic movie. He died in 1980. Mesothelioma, I believe, from the San Diego shipyards when he worked there. But born on this day in 1930, Steve McQueen, super American.
What's today, March 24th?
March 24th.
All righty. Well, thank you for Producer's Picks. We
America's real birthday.
We went over a variety of topics there. We'll be back on the other side, guys, with the car crossover, and I get a lot of questions for Howie, and we'll catch you on the other side. Don't go anywhere. This is the Grace Curley Show.
You're listening to the Grace Curley Show.
This hour.